Hey there, folks. Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in Newburgh, Indiana? Well, today we're going to take a deep dive into this charming little community and talk about the pros and cons. I'm Shaun. This is my wife, Molly. We have Kendra as well. We are the Angel team at Remax Revolution. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, we recommend you do that so that you don't miss our future episodes. Let's dive right into it.
So, Shaun, Newburgh has gotten a lot of attention lately about a potential relocation spot, but is it really worth it? What are the pros and cons? Do the positives outweigh the negatives? We're going to go through it one by one. We'll alternate between the pros and the cons to tell you all about it.
Well, I think about every conversation about Newburgh begins with the downtown Newburgh riverfront. It's the walking trails. It's along, you're walking along the river. You got barge traffic. You've got dams. You've got the ability to walk your dogs. It's great. You can stop off, get a cup of coffee. You can get a bite to eat. We've actually had people feel like it's a Hallmark video down there. That's what they tell us. So it attracts in a lot with that atmosphere. Along with that would be that downtown Newburgh, the restaurants. You can get different types of cuisine, and then the shopping is actually good as well. And they're not the big box retailers you expect in the cities. You can get vintage, you can get antique, you can go for high-end clothing and actually work on designing of your house. There's a lot of different things downtown Newburgh incorporates.
Yeah, whenever I need a gift for anyone or want something special, that is where I head, because you've got, like Shaun said, you've got Barefoot Cottage that has wonderful house decor, a Turkish restaurant, you've got Cleo's Bakery with treats and sandwiches, and then you've got Honeymoon Coffee, which if you live in the Evansville area, you know about Honeymoon Coffee. They're just kind of the go-to local spot for that.
Yeah, so I think that's a good wrap-up of downtown Newburgh. If you like to walk your dog, enjoy seeing the river, you enjoy food, entertainment, there's the amphitheater down towards the Lock and Dam, the old Locks and Dams area. They'll have outdoor concerts and different venues and things throughout the year as well. So definitely a can't-miss area of the Newburgh area.
So that was a great pro about Newburgh. Now I've got a con, and I tend not to be a very pessimistic person, so it's hard for me to come up with cons when you're talking about Newburgh. But when you're looking at the area, one negative side of Newburgh is that it has higher land prices. So if you're looking for a more affordable lot, you would be looking more towards the Vanderburgh County, Posey County area. Warrick County is a wonderful place to build on, but if building your dream home is one of the goals you have when living in Newburgh, land prices are going to be a little bit more expensive.
Right. But on the pro side, like Molly's saying, we live and we're from here, so we understand what prices have done and fluctuated. If you were comparing to our surrounding big brother cities, that would be like Indy, Louisville, Nashville, St. Louis, we're a bargain. And not just in the pricing of homes, which is a bargain on the national scale when you compare it to the national scale, but also in our cost of living. So that makes it really come back into line. And if you're in one of these big cities and you're listening to this video, you're like, oh, please, you guys are cheap. So we do get you. But, we're from here. And so when we see prices accelerating, we're going to let you know.
Yeah. And so just in this year alone, we've had 3 potential clients coming from Nashville because they have never stepped foot in Indiana, and they didn't realize for the amount of money what they could get here.
That's right. Yeah, they made comments like, well, we thought you guys were just farm fields. We didn't really know what Indiana was, kind of that joke of being a flyover state that we hear sometimes from the big people. But once they started digging into this community, I drove them around downtown Newburgh, took them to, the coffee shop. We went to one of the exclusive starting subdivisions, Victoria Woods. Yeah. And, with what they could be pre-approved for and buy in the way of land, and you compared that to what they were renting for, in the Nashville area, because they couldn't afford to even buy. They have been priced out of the market. They work from home. They could relocate anywhere. Indiana jumped up in their minds big time, and they are actually building right here with a local builder and looking forward to it, and they're talking to their friends.
So Shaun just mentioned pre-approval. That gives me a good reminder and a good time to talk about our friend Paul Kastrup at Mortgage Masters. If you're looking to move to this area, first part of your search is to get you pre-approved. So give Paul a call, and he works great with us, and he will get you started down the right path. And we'll give you his phone number here so that you can reach out to him. Okay, so on to our next con of this area. In Newburgh, we don't have a lot of centralized utility services. So that comes down to waste management, where here you have to call around the different companies, you got to price them out and get set up with them. Whereas in Evansville, if you live in the Evansville area, they have a centralized waste management. You call one number, you get set up, and your neighbors are all serviced by the same person. So like in our neighborhood, there's probably at least 2 or 3 different companies. And so we don't have just one trash day rolling through our neighborhood. We might get woke up with a beeping sound on 5 o'clock in the morning a couple days a week because there's just not the same day that everybody in the neighborhood's getting their trash picked up with. And that also rolls over into water and sewer utilities. In Evansville, you get one bill from that, but here in Warrick County and in Newburgh, you're going to get a separate water and sewer utility bill.
Right. And there's several providers on that, and it's not a big deal, but it is something that you will see a general increase in your expenses, especially if you're a fixed income type individual. Plan for more money, especially in that sewer category, then when you get to that. Now, on a positive note with the school systems, I mean, we continually hear accolades and favorable comments on our school systems, and for good reason. It's from elementary through high school. Our graduation rates are higher on a national level than some of our peers. And so that, as you know, leads to higher qualifications for post-secondary educations and graduations, which sets our youth up for success in the workforce. We have good rating scores evidenced by solid testing scores as well. So not just the test numbers, but the quantities of people and coming in makes for good school systems. And that's in Newburgh and Warrick County as a general.
On to our next con is the weather in this area. So our winters can be harsh. We can get ice. It can be super cold. We've had below freezing cold or below 0 degree weather before. We've had several inches of snow. And then on the flip side, we can have really humid, hot summers, temperatures well over 100 degrees. So we experience all the extremes, but I actually kind of think that's a pro because I enjoy experiencing every season of the year. So we have very distinct fall, winter, spring, summers, and we get to experience all of that. But we do have extremes at both ends. So
yeah, and maybe a con, maybe a pro, or just a humorous comment, but the people around here are very into weather. So we are into weather. Midwesterners and their weather. Oh my gosh. I was with a client yesterday that's from Alaska, and the kids were hot, and it was like, I mean, they're high.
70 degrees maybe yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, so they were talking about their weather, and when you're around here, it's been a few days hot so far this year. And I talked to somebody earlier today and they said, oh my gosh, this weather, it just went right into summertime. We skipped spring. Sorry, folks. It's been spring for like 2 months around here. We're just up and down. So if you have those allergies and that head congestion, it's going to be nightmarish for you. But if you don't, then you're going to be fine and you're going to appreciate the moving, wandering weather that we have in the Midwest. But just mark my words, it'll be a humorous thing when you move here if you're not used to Midwesterners and weather. So,
and we can experience some severe thunderstorms as well. So some people, when they're moving to this area, do prefer to look for a basement so that if we have some tornadic weather or something like that, they have a place to get away from. Now in Newburgh, it's not always the most common to get a basement, but we can definitely find one. Yeah,
and when it comes to that kind of stuff too, there's other solutions. There's storm shelters, there's basically steel shelters as well. So we have had clients, and in all seriousness, because of our storms, ask us about that this year. And we have a couple sources for you to talk about. And then, storm shelters can be integrated into landscaping. They can really be integrated into your garage in either below grade or above grade steel structures. And I think more people are paying attention to things like that. I think a big pro around here would be our outdoor scene. Sure, we don't have the mountains and oceans that some of the areas have, but what we do have is good fishing, good hunting, we have good hiking trails, and we have short drives to get to amazing hikes through some of the park systems. We've got the bluegrass system that's out, not maybe a 20-minute drive, where you can kayak, you can hunt, you can fish, and people take advantage of these things. If you are into boating, the Ohio River is very picturesque. We've mentioned that through the downtown walkway. But many people love to speed their boats up and down the river, catfish in the river below the dam or actually above the dam, and do various water sports like skiing. So whether you're whatever outdoor you're into, you can do around here, from from the hiking, the fishing, the hunting, and we'd be happy to help set you up with contacts for the state ground, or maybe you make friends with a local farmer or a local person who has private ground as well for you to reach. So
I know one of Shaun's favorite areas to go to is just down the road from where we live, and that's the Angel Mounds Historic Site. So he can go there and walk 3 miles and be in the outdoors and hear the birds chirping and actually come across deer usually when you're in there. So it's nice that we can get away just a few minutes down the road from our home and be in nature.
Right.
So coming to our last con, that is the nightlife that you can experience in Newburgh. And it's a little bit lacking, I would say. You're going to make the drive to Evansville if you're wanting to go to the concerts or bar scenes, that sort of nighttime nightlife. It's definitely not at your footsteps. So you just make a little bit of drive into Evansville. As far as family entertainment in the evenings, you do have the Showplace Cinemas Entertainment Center where you can bowl and play laser tag and see the newest movies, stuff like that. But definitely, I wouldn't say you're going to think of yourself of going to downtown Newburgh to have fun on the town in the evenings.
Right, yeah. And it's pretty common around here that people take mini trips. You know, they call it weekend trips away, where we hub and spoke out of Evansville to one of the major cities around us. Indy to our north, we've got east and west, we've got St. Louis and Louisville, and then we've got Nashville. And so that's pretty common culturally. You know, you want to go and get a good concert, good bar scene, you know, you're headed to one of the cities. So, you know, but we're really Newburgh, very family oriented. We have ice cream shops. We have a lot of the stuff that we can do. And then that's, as a family, that's kind of what we do, you know, for some of our entertaining. Well, I think that wraps up our pro and con discussion of Newburgh, Indiana. And just remember, whether you're into a picturesque downtown Newburgh riverfront, if you're into outdoor activities that we talked about, or maybe the great school systems or the small town feel that Newburgh provides, there's something here for everyone.
Yeah, and so if you have any other questions about the area, we would love to help answer those questions for you, help you get started on your search, and help you figure out where is the perfect spot for you around Evansville. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at 812-568-7371, or if email is more your thing, feel free to email Shaun at angelteamrealty.com. And we want to thank you for watching this video. Make sure if you like it to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time soon.